Now we're looking at some still shots of all of the people that came along to their monthly meetings for the ABA. That's the Northern Rivers branch of the ABA, beekeepers. And this is at a particular farm at Kyogle, North New South Wales. And as you can see, there's a lot of fellowship. There's a lot of good tidings, good things, good food. Everybody's enjoying themselves. And in a few moments, you're going to see us go up to the side of the hill. We're all walking up to go and have a look at Peter's hives to check out how they are flourishing and to see whether or not there is any beetle pest or anything happening in the hives that we don't want to have happen there.
And that, so
yeah. Yeah, good. Yep. Yeah. There's a nice supply of honey there for him. That's the stuff. So you just put that one out the front at the moment. Okay. And put your next one out.
Spread them apart first, Pete.
Yeah.
What do I do? How do I do that?
Yeah. Go this way.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can lift them out. Well, you can probably lift it out by hand then.
Yeah. So it looks like the frames are all the same sort of condition.
Yeah.
How long did you rob them? How long ago?
About 6 weeks ago, didn't it, Pete?
Yeah, about 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks ago.
Yeah. What's this one look like? Yeah, he's the same. They're just
same.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do we do? We take them out.
Well, what do I do? Take that box off now and have a look at your next box.
Yeah, put that back in there.
Yeah.
Put this back in.
You want to put the trap back in yet, or?
No, because you got to pour oil down the hill if you do that. Snap the box off.
Snap him apart first. He wasn't much putting cleats on, was he?
Okay.
So
Lift him.
Okay.
Of course, the bottom ones were stuck up underneath on the lid.
Yep. Just put it down on your lid.
Yeah.
Just imagine we're not here and you're doing this, mate.
I've got no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, but you're doing the right thing, mate. Okay.
That's why.
And what we always do there as well, you always put that same position as what the lid is. So if the queen gets out and you put the excluder on top there, and the queen gets out of there, she will not get in the bottom box, right?
Okay.
Okay. So these are the foundations. See, this is what I was talking about last night. We might be pulling this box off, taking a bit of honey out, and taking this box right off out of the road, right? Because as I said, they're not doing nothing with this bottom box. I should have brought a bucket up, but I didn't.
Set it on top of the other one, they'll use it.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Okay.
That was it. Thanks for a bit.
Nothing in.
So that's completely
shake.
empty.
Shake the bees off him.
Yep.
So you might be out the road.
Yep.
Okay. So what are we doing? We're taking this all out.
They're all empty there.
They're all empty.
See, there's only a bit of honey there. Yeah.
So
They're putting honey in there.
They're pulling them out now for you.
Right, sorry?
They're starting to pull the frame out for you, putting honey in.
Okay.
Yeah, there's honey in that
Spin
one.
it over the other side. Okay, and they're doing the same thing there. So you start off with what you talked about last night, your foundation.
Yep. And they're building
and
it
they're
up.
starting to build the frame out for you.
Okay.
And that one's the same little one.
Yep.
So what are we doing? Keep looking along.
Pull your next one out, see what it's like.
They were?
Yep.
Is it an ideal situation now to swap those boxes over for wind and take the top box home?
So
yeah, I'm taking this one home.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can feel the weight in this,
Yeah,
so there's honey in there.
Yep. Yep. There's heaps of honey in there, mate.
Okay.
Yep.
So should you be looking at bringing some to the inside and some to the outside?
Well, what we'll do, we'll turn around and decide in a minute how much honey's taken out of this box here, and we'll just knock them back to the one box, but we'll be giving them more room. Yep.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a good health. It's a very good healthy hive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. And that's pretty empty.
Yep. Okay. So what do we do now, Pete? I'll just show you.
There's only three there with honey in.
So you know what you got there, right? But before we do anything else now, right? Crack him off. Put him down there.
Oh, we're starting back.
Yeah, just hop back.
That's the separator.
Yep, that's the excluder, right? So you put
A
your,
bit more smoke.
you put your, yeah, put your excluder.
That was good, Joe. You got the sweet stuff on your way.
It's good old smoke, huh? I think they're stinging, though.
That's why I was a bigger gap this morning. Work around.
Okay, as the same as the top, turn and crack your bottom frames. And be very, very careful pulling your frame out. I know most of you blokes have heard me say this a half a dozen times and all the rest of it. And you can see that frame there is just flowing full of pollen right down the bottom and honey up the top. That's all their winter supplies because they're bringing honey in at the moment. As well, AFB.
Yeah.
So there's no cells there with holes in them. Yeah. They're all. Yeah, you'll have to do that, John.
I got one on my head.
Yeah. Yep.
Another just on
I noticed the bugger all drones there.
Yeah, that's right. They're closing down because there's no drones, there's no nothing.
They kicked
Yep.
drones out for all the buggers.
Yeah, they won't use it anymore. Out you're getting cold.
Is that all the, what those dead ones are? At the front,
So there's one or two drones there. So there's a big drone there. That's a drone.
They're much bigger.
But look at the eggs there, Ed. They're bloody everywhere through that frame. Hey? Eggs everywhere.
And the pollen, where's the pollen that you said was on the
It would have been that.
And the outside ones.
On the outside, right, okay. The
Yeah,
yellow stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mate, she's just laying everywhere here.
This is just laying in here, and the pollen and honey's mostly on the outside.
Yep.
Don't overdo them, Pete. They'll end up with a smoker score.
Better that than my hands, buddy, swelling.
Oh, just keep yourself smoked, mate. You're right.
Yeah,
Look at this, beautiful big queen cell here.
Yeah.
I want that one.
So is that going to replace?
Well, that's going to cost you $50, mate.
Yeah, I'll take it
Is
for
that
50
right?
bucks.
Wow.
The
I'll
move will
take
that.
it.
Oh, you fucking dogs.
Move.
You yell out, I'll give you a
Well,
pair
that
of
queen
these.
hatch out there, another queen will go or what?
Yeah, well,
think I'm
they
gonna
could
toss
roll
these
her, they
gloves
could roll
away.
her or whatever, but there's a massive queen cell there.
Yeah.
You want me to go and get my box?
Don't destroy it till you find
No.
She mightn't be in there.
She
She
might
might-
have already gone or
She
died.
might have a buggered wing or...
That's right.
transporting her here, she might have got killed. Bloody road's rough, isn't it?
And she's laying eggs, so she must be still there.
Yeah, she's still there.
Yeah, but she could have died.
There's eggs here.
It's a
Yeah, but she still could be at the end of her tether.
Headed like that, tether. Good word. eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, big road.
Well, I could have said something else, but I didn't.
We'll keep it same though.
Yeah.
No. We're gonna listen to the queen cell in that gap
Oh,
there.
shit. Where you see her there?
You couldn't, could you?
So why are they
Puffin',
like thick
puffin'.
there?
Well, that's her just looking after the brood and all the rest of it. Yeah, and as I
Keeping it
said,
warm and
she could be over this side.
that's where the sun is, see?
Is she marked?
Let it be in the shade.
No, probably not mine.
Yeah.
I've only got one mark.
make sure you don't shake the queen out.
I think we'll leave the queen cell with her anyway, Ed. Eh?
Yeah, leave it there.
They'll destroy her if they don't want it. They'll destroy it.
There's got to be a girl there.
So come spring,
Yeah, well, there's eggs
you'd
there,
take
she-
the
Let's sell
current queen and you put her in a box over in that paddock over there somewhere, would you?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
And you'd
If you
leave
put
that,
some-
and you'd leave that queen cell there to. Oh, look, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, put a good gauntlets there.
Where'd you get those gloves from, mate?
I don't know, but
They're a bad colour.
whatsoever.
They're a bad colour spot to go after, black
Please
colour.
hate yellow.
No, to make them run, just blow on it. Just
No, it's the black they're going after, not the yellow.
that makes them run.
Like black.
I got 5,000 gloves.
How's big is your book there?
I'm not going to be able to hold the old
I'll
fella.
get you
having
another
a
set of these. You
fiddle
want to
with
try
showing
another set of these? You want to try a set of these? I've got another set in the car.
Look at this.
Yeah, they dig through.
Mm. That's a good, healthy hive.
Baseball gloves in there.
And as I see the amount of beetles in the hive at the moment because the weather's cooling off.
Well, this one hasn't got an apathaur trap in it.
I know that, but as I say, there's still the...
Oh, we got stung again.
You're not allergic to them, are you?
I better hope not. Keeping the hands free.
Now, just want to ask you, have you seen inside a hive like that before?
Oh, absolutely.
You have?
Actually, across this very mountain in
Okay.
Eden Creek.
And what about you, sir?
Definitely.
You have? So we've got experienced beekeepers here.
Oh, mine was
Yeah, we've got a
wonderful.
couple more up here.
The amateurs, mate, we're standing back. We've got minimal protection here.
Well, you're
Hands in your pocket.
you're an experienced man with bees. Yes?
No,
No?
no.
Not Bryce, yeah. Well, this is your first time you've seen inside the hive?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh,
Same
come
with
down closer. Come on.
Come
on.
you down.
Come down here. I'll protect you. That owns these bees. How long have you had these bees, Peter?
Oh, about 2 months, mate.
And yeah, I hear you actually harvested a lot of honey out of them a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we got about 50 litres.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And you've had no trouble with the beetle mite?
Well, this is the first time they're inspecting the hives for us, so
Okay.
I'm brand new, so.
Well, it's good to see that you got all these people out here having a look with you.
Yeah, it's awesome, mate. I've got to get up here, Blake, so...
Thanks, Peter.
You get stung?
No, I just wanted to ask you, you're an experienced beekeeper.
Me?
Yeah? How many years have you been into the bees?
10.
10 years. And you helped put these hives up here?
No,
No?
I moved it.
Ah, good on you. Well, it's good to see that you're up here helping.
Yeah. You right?
I wanted to ask you, because you're the lady of the house here, and you've had a lot of experience before with bees?
No.
Oh, this is your first
I'm still
time.
learning. I'm a rookie.
So you've invited all these beekeepers here to have a...
Every month the beekeepers have a meeting.
Isn't that lovely?
And it goes from one place to another.
And this is your beautiful farm.
Yeah.
Hey, you've got to go up there and have a look with your husband looking into the bees.
I've been up many times. Today I'm catering.
Well, now you're going to be up on YouTube next week.
Today.
Now, here we are looking at a Australian indigenous native bee hive. And as you can see, there's a lot of little native bees there. And that's what you will find when you're walking through the bush and you see a little hole like that and 1,000 little native bees, and they are the ones that are actually pollinating a lot of the crops now where the honey bees have disappeared. Now because I've had an early life, farm life, on wheat and sheep and on poultry and with citrus orchards, and later on I've had 2 fish farms breeding fish, so I'm well aware of nature and the natural things of life. I'm dead against GM, genetically modified seed, and one of the big reasons why I'm dead against it, I'm going to show you a clip in a moment or two. And I'm dead against the way they are using chemicals to grow things. You've got drug companies and pharmaceutical companies and chemical companies that own the seed patents. So they own the seeds that the people are putting into the ground, and then they own the chemicals that they are sprayed with at the farm end. And not only that, then they are spraying more chemicals on them and irradiating them as they come in from imports from all over the world. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about the neonicotinoid chemicals and how bad they are, and I'll mention a few things here showing you about chemtrails and the poison that's in the air, and of course doubled up with HAARP, HAARP, that's high frequency active auroral research program. All of these technologies are causing devastation to our ecosystem, particularly to the bees and of course to the food chain all the way through. So I'll just show you these clips, and you can stop the film and you can read it. I won't be able to read the whole thing, but I want you to research it so that you will understand why bees have practically disappeared and become extinct in lots of the parts of this world. Just before I go into these snippets of details concerning the chemicals, the HAARP, and the chemtrails poisoning the air. If you're not familiar with this, and if you don't have the information about this, I urge you to look it up, research it, and come to the knowledge of what's going on. We have been duped and deceived by governments all over the world. And what you read in the newspapers is also under the control of the same secret societies, under the control of the oligarchy. They own the media. They own and control all of the secret societies, and that means what you're getting to read about scientific technology is a lot of times it's false and it's fake, and it is not safe to use. I won't go any further into details on this. You need to have a look at these subjects and go in and do your own research. But I'll give you some snippets here about why bees are disappearing all over the world. I will urge you that when you plant anything in your garden, and particularly the farmers, see, the farmers have been given the rhetoric and the propaganda from the chemical companies that if they buy their patented seeds, GM seeds, genetically modified seeds, they will get a higher yield and they will have crops without weed problems or insect problems. This is not the way God made things to be. And when they do what they're doing in this technology that you're going to see in a few moments or two, you're going to see why not only the bees are dying, but birds are dropping out of the sky by the millions all over the world. And half the time you won't get any news about that. And not only hundreds of tons, but thousands of tons of fish are also dying all over the world. This is about neonicotinoid pesticides. It's a newer class of chemicals that are applied to seeds before planting. And this allows the pesticide to be taken up through the plant's vascular system as it grows, where it is expressed in the way of pollen and nectar. Now, these insecticides are highly toxic to bees because they are systemic, they're water-soluble, and pervasive. They get into the soil and the groundwater where they can accumulate and remain there for many years, and present long-term toxicity to the hive, as well as to the other species of wildlife, such as birds and wattle birds in Australia. The neonicotinoids affects insects' central nervous system in ways that are cumulative and irreversible. Even minute amounts can have a profound effect over the time. Now, broadacre crops such as soya, wheat, cotton, barley, corn, all of these GM now are seeds which have these terrible poisons in them. Bees carry the toxic pollen that mixes in other bush flowers and it's spreading throughout the bush, and that causes wattlebirds, honey eaters, to die. Now, these insecticides, they weaken the bee's immune system. Forager bees bring in pesticide-laden pollen back to the hive, where it is consumed by all of the bees. There is a lot of court cases going on against the EPA about this. Now, 6 months later, the bees' immune system fail and they fall prey to secondary, seemingly natural bee infections, such as parasites, mites, viruses, fungi, bacteria, etc. The Israeli acute paralysis virus, that's IAPV, is also found in large amounts in many of the honeybee hives that are on the verge of collapse. Now, under this attack of the toxic chemicals, together with HAARP, HAARP, the destruction of the Earth's electromagnetic field. And I might add there that the bees have magnetite cells in their brain and they tap into the Earth's electromagnetic field to find their way back to the hive. Many bees are loaded up with pollen, but they cannot find their way back to the hive and they just die on the way. The chemtrail poisons is killing our wildlife and our ecosystem, and our food supply will ultimately soon be gone. Well, you're looking at some newspaper clippings of the snapper that are floating all over the ocean, dead. All the way across to New Zealand, there is thousands of tons of fish just floating on the surface of the ocean. Here you can see more of the snapper. Literally thousands of tons are dying every day, something that you will not get any truth from the governments about, something which they will not tell you the truth about, because it is the poisons coming from the chemtrails and the HAARP that is causing the death of millions of tons of food. Only a couple of weeks ago there were some news items, and you'll get them on globalresearch.ca. There is literally thousands of whales that were dead and thousands of porpoises, dolphins, also dead. And in a moment or two, I'll give you some scientific papers on this, which shows you that the chemicals that are in the chemtrails in the air that we breathe, when the chemicals get into the brain of fish, they die within 48 hours. Now, on your screen, you've got one of the scientific papers that you can get from globalresearch.ca. But in there, you can stop the film and you can read it yourself. But it tells you down the bottom there that there was, and I'll read it to you, these engineered carbon molecules as small as 1,000th diameter of a human hair display bizarre chemical properties that are known to trigger organ damage. A recent study at the Southern Methodist University found that fish exposed to these types of nanoparticles suffered severe brain damage and they died within 48 hours. And that is also what is killing the whales and the dolphins. Now, there's dozens of papers, scientific papers that you can get on the web, and I suggest that you do some research and you go in and you have a look, because I do not have the time to give it to you on this particular documentary. But it suffice to say that the chemicals and the technology is killing our ecosystem, our fish, our birds, and our animals throughout the whole world. Bees is just one that's copping the blunt end of these poisons. Now, another point that I'll give you a few snippets on, the New World Order and the banking cartel, the oligarchy, have given copious amounts of false, fake, scientific garbage saying that the CO2, carbon dioxide, is causing global warming. Well, they changed the name from global warming to climate change because they soon found that the whole world is actually in a global cooling. But you can see here, you read it yourself, stop the film, you'll see that CO2 is not causing climate change, and CO2 is man's secret weapon coming out of HAARP and chemtrails. Carbon tax is needed by the UN, NATO, New World Order to fund their world government, the global government. That is why they want carbon tax, and that is a hoax. That is a fraud, and I urge you to have a look at all of the information that there is available on this subject so that you realise that we have been duped and deceived by all governments in the world. Just a couple of more things. When we're talking about HAARP, H-A-A-R-P, and chemtrails, this is NATO's, US, CIA, this is their secret weapon. They can, when you do your research, you'll find they can cause a tsunami, they can cause earthquakes, and they can cause droughts, and they can cause floods and cyclones at their own whim. They have complete and total control over weather modification to use it as a weapon. So do your own research and go into my previous reports. There's over 150 reports that I've done on the internet, and there's a lot more people besides me, just independent reporters. Go in and have a look. You need to know what's going on in the world around you. Don't believe what the government tells you, and don't believe what you read in the newspapers or the TV.